Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am planning with this kit from Nadou Sticky Studio called Tropical Paradise. It's a cool green, kind of blue kit. It's like a dusty sage, I would say. Yeah, I am super excited. This is a shop new to me, and let's get into it. So it's a pretty light week for me in general. So I'm going to answer a couple of like summer tag questions for this video. So the first one is, are you a summer person? And unfortunately, the answer to this is a resounding no. I am not a summer person. I think it's because I really don't like to be hot at all. Like, I would much prefer to be like freezing cold than it is to be uncomfortably hot. I kind of feel like when you're hot, there's only so many layers you can take off. Whereas if you're cold, you could always add something on, put a hat on, put gloves on, etc. So I am not summer. In fact, like, I'm not a summer person. In fact, you know, I always warn people that when summer comes around, like, I tend to be a lot grumpier just because I hate being hot. I feel like when it's too hot, my appetite's messed up, my sleep is messed up, the sun rises really early in the morning, like, it's miserable for me. So we're in the middle of June. We've got about, I'd say, another 2.5 months of summer. I mean, summer really doesn't feel like it starts to wind down in the part of California that I'm at until like mid-September, late September. So I'm just going to be gritting my teeth for the next few months and staying inside. I like to tell people that if it's over 80 degrees, I'm not leaving my house. And truly, with these gas prices and the temperatures, I'm really not leaving my house. I mean, in Northern California, the gas prices are insane. The other day, I paid $7.29 a gallon. I'm on the, in the unfortunate position too of having a car that only takes premium, so that's like a premium price. But today I went out for coffee and I saw that the gas was down to $6.85, and I was like, thank goodness. And then I was like, did you ever think you would cheer for gas being $6.85? Like, strange times we live in. Anyway, so what is your favorite ice cream flavor? I am extremely partial to chocolate, but it kind of depends sometimes if I'm eating ice cream at home or I'm going out. So if I'm eating ice cream at home, the kind of ice cream I like to buy and eat at home, I love Turkey Hill's Dutch chocolate. It is just so, Turkey Hill as a brand is really fantastic. It's really smooth, really creamy. I am also severely lactose intolerant. I should just mention that. So I always have to remember to take my Lactaid beforehand or I'm going to have a bad time. But the Turkey Hill Dutch chocolate is amazing. I also really like the Caramel Sutra from Ben & Jerry's. It is half caramel with the caramel core, the core is solid caramel, and the other half is chocolate with like chocolate chips. I would honestly love that a lot more if there weren't the chocolate chips, because it's always a little bit disconcerting to me to have to like chew a little when I eat that ice cream, but I really like that. You can't go wrong with Haagen-Dazs Dulce de Leche, ever. When I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with Dulce de Leche. There was a Haagen-Dazs like kiosk in the mall, and I would always get the Dulce de Leche milkshakes. It's so good. Okay, so that's in the house. If I'm out of the house, also I would say I've enjoyed a Talenti ice cream flavor here and there. I think they have a chocolate that's really good. Like, it's they have gelato, and I don't remember what the name of the chocolate was, but my boyfriend bought it once and it was fantastic. So out of the house, I'm quite partial to a couple of different ice cream milkshake things. And I'm a sweets person and definitely a milkshake ice cream person, so that's why I have so many options. But I love the chain Rita's ice cream. I think they're most famous for their ices. Like, they have a lot of shaved ice flavors, but I love their custard. And they're actually, even though their primary flavors are vanilla and chocolate, I will more often go for the vanilla. The reason being is that their vanilla soft serve tastes to me like the vanilla ice cream that I used to get at home in New York from the Mr. Softee ice cream truck. So it's the exact same texture, and then they also have rainbow sprinkles, and when you put that in a cup, it just feels nostalgic for that, so I always get the vanilla. If I'm going to somewhere like In-N-Out, I'm going to get a chocolate milkshake versus a vanilla one. My boyfriend and I tried the Neapolitan, which is the layer of like strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. I don't think that's the right order. I think it's vanilla. Yeah, I think that might be the right order. It kind of tasted, I think it tasted the same as if you had mixed, like, I couldn't really taste the strawberry. It tasted the same as if you'd mixed chocolate and vanilla, but I usually get the chocolate there. If I'm going to like McDonald's, for example, just to get dessert, it's usually a plain vanilla cone or a hot fudge sundae, or an Oreo McFlurry, a small one. Those are primarily vanilla ice cream based. So I guess maybe I should say that I like vanilla and chocolate equally, because it feels like depending on where I go, I usually like one or the other. But those are my favorite ice cream flavors. Beach or swimming pool? I think I'm going to have to go with beach, because I just feel like public swimming pools can sometimes be a little gross. You know, I've experienced some instances of people, you know, doing gross bathroom stuff in the pool, in public pools. And I would say that it's really unpleasant. And I'm always like, look, I need to like hose myself down in turpentine afterwards. So I gotta say the beach. If it's a private swimming pool, like if you're at a swimming pool at someone's house, I think I would probably prefer the swimming pool at someone's house to a public pool. But I was going to say the beach because there's not so much, like, you can kind of spread out. It doesn't feel quite as concentrated. I'm sure it's equally as gross as a pool, but I just have a different feeling. I don't know why. It feels different than a public pool. I have no idea. The reason why I would say a like private swimming pool is because I'm not a huge fan, like I said, of summer. I don't really like to be out in the sun a ton. And so in a swimming pool outside, I feel like you'll get the chance to have beach umbrellas, which you could have at the beach too, I guess. So if I'm shaded anywhere, I would say it's a toss-up between the beach and someone's private pool. Favorite summertime movie? This is a hard one. It's hard to think of movies that are set during the summer. I'm gonna have to come back to this one because it is, difficult for me to think of movies that start during the summer. I kind of don't pay attention to the season when it's movies. Oh, here we go. Here's a good movie. I don't know if this counts as summer, but I really like the Predator series. And oh yes, it was summer. And the second Predator was, the setting was the summer in, I believe it was LA. Yes. Because they kind of like juxtapose it with some like LA rioting, I feel like. And Danny Glover's in the second Predator. I think it's called Predator 2. And it was, I think the series is just great. We watched The Predator, which is the 2018 remake of the original one. It's not a remake. It's kind of like an inspired by. It has some of the same elements from the original one. And honestly, it had some of my favorite people in it. It had Sterling K. Brown, Keegan-Michael Key, but the dialogue was just so cheesy. It just couldn't get into it. So, ooh. But yeah, the second Predator was set during the summer, and that is a really good movie. I don't know if I could say it was my favorite, but it's one that just like came to mind immediately. So I'm just gonna say that one. Best summertime memory. Best summertime memory. This is one that came to mind recently. Again, it's like, I'm kind of, I don't know if this is the best. This is just one that I really, really like. But some coworkers and friends, I would say friends, and we worked together, and I went on a work trip to Lyon, France. This was back, I think, in 2018. And they had it was like the last day of the World Cup. So we were there, we were watching, we were like, oh, what's going to happen if they win? They won. It was such an exciting like celebration. But on that trip, we got to like, see everyone celebrating. The weird thing was people getting naked It was very strange for me to see. But at the same time, you know, I went to a college where when we used to win the basketball championship, people would light stuff on fire and jump over it for some reason. So I really have no place to talk. I mean, not that I ever did that, but I observed it a lot. But it was just such a fun trip. You know, we had a lot of really good food. We went to some delicious restaurants. It was too hot for me. Again, it was summer, July. It was like early July, super, you know, in the throes of summer. But I just thought it was nice, you know, to hang with friends. And yeah, it was a fun trip. It was a fun trip. So that's a good summertime memory. Do you spend more money during the summer? What an interesting question. I don't think so. The only thing I think is like, I run the AC pretty consistently. I'm trying to kind of do better about my energy conservation by like opening the windows more and kind of not running the AC on full blast because as y'all know, in California, you know, we are constantly being told like, do well on your energy conservation, don't run the AC too much. There have been like a couple of summers, I'd say it kind of started for me happening consistently in 2019 and 2020 was a pretty bad year for the blackouts. But like when the energy grid gets overloaded because everyone's running their AC, it's not great. So I've started opening the windows in the evenings to let cool air kind of run through my apartment. So it kind of cools it down more. I'm on a high floor, so there is a breeze, but it can be hard when it's like 90 to even want to let in air because it's like, it's hot air. Like everything is so hot. So I'd say it's probably spend a little bit more money on my like electric bill. In general, I think I probably go a little bit harder on the ice cream, as I mentioned, in the summer. But I don't think I particularly spend any more money. I don't think so. Where would you go for your dream summer vacation? My dream summer vacation is to go either to the Inner Richmond neighborhood in San Francisco or vacation along Highway 1, anywhere. Probably closer to Pescadero. Why those two places? During the summertime, they are almost always cool. It is overcast there, meaning it's not super sunny. It's balmy. I would say it's probably in the high 60s, low 70s, so it's not freezing, but it's not hot. And it's cool. It's cool during summer. I mean, this is probably coming through, but I just cannot stand to be hot. Last year, I said to my boyfriend, I was like, I have to get out of the heat. Like, I cannot take it. And he was like, why don't we just take a little, you know, quote unquote staycation because we don't live that far away from San Francisco and go up to Inner Richmond and stay for a week. And we got an Airbnb, I think for 5 days, and it was magical. I didn't even know that it was summer up there. It was foggy. It was cold. My ideal vacation would be like hiking somewhere cool and, you know, maybe there's a little bit of rain sometimes, but you know, it's just like something like dreary. I know I'm out of the norm. And the messed up thing is that my birthday is at the end of summertime and I have never been on like oh my God, this is the like best summer vacation ever, or like, you know, I've gone to like a really kind of cool place on my birthday because quite frankly, it's in the dog days of summer and it's so hot, you know. I might do that this year actually. That's a good idea. But we went there last year in Richmond and it was, the only thing was that we were close enough to the bridge where we could hear the foghorn. I did not know that this was a real thing until I stayed there, and I was like, I asked my boyfriend, I was like, what is this noise? I keep hearing this like, wah, you know, and he's like, that's the foghorn. And I'm like, what? And he said it's a foghorn, basically to let ships that are coming through the bay know that the bridge is there and that they should like watch out for it. But it's like a loud noise that goes off, I'd say probably 3 or 4 times a minute. It's just like wah, wah. But you know what? Honestly, I did not mind it that much. You kind of get used to it, and it was so nice just being in the cool, in the overcast. I am just a fall and winter person by nature, and so my favorite summer vacation would be to go somewhere where it is fall or winter during summer. Yeah. So we're coming to the end of the spread. Hope y'all have enjoyed, my discussions of my summertime favorites, do's and don'ts, summertime tag questions. If you have any questions about the stickers, catch me on Instagram or in the comments. Thanks always for watching, and hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Bye!